Hey guys, welcome back, or if it's your first time here, welcome. I really hope you enjoy this video as well as my channel. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you do. Now for today, we are going to be talking about all of my favorite as well as all of my least favorite highlighters. Now I do want to mention, especially if you're new to my channel, I typically prefer highlighters that give more of a glow from within type of look that are a little bit more natural and wearable. So the highlighters that I'll be mentioning today really cater to that specific look. And lastly, I do also want to say, this is something I say before every one of my best and worst videos, that if you like a product that I hate or if you hate a product that I love, that is totally okay. Everything is really personal preference. I would also, as always, love if you guys could let me know all of your favorite highlighters in the comments and some highlighters that you would probably suggest avoiding, because I always love reading the comment section in these types of videos. I always think it's like the most fun because it's just like a giant thread of product recommendations. So I really hope you guys enjoy today's video and let's get into it. So I think it only makes sense to start talking about the product that I'm wearing on my face right now. This little glow over here was created by using the Maybelline Master Strobing liquid. Now this is probably one of my favorite liquid highlighters that I have in my collection, and honestly just the fact that it's from the drugstore is an added bonus. The shade is like a cool toned icy pink, which honestly is typically not what I like to go for. I do typically like my highlighters to be a little bit more on the warmer side. Liquid highlighters are really nice because they sort of just melt into the skin, so instead of it looking like a powder sitting on top of the skin, it really does look like you're glowing from within. And I love the fact that this doesn't have any type of visible shimmer to it. It's honestly quite intense, especially for more of a liquid highlighter. And I do also like to compare this product to this Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drop in the shade Celestial. This is another really gorgeous product. I was actually going to include it in today's video, but I was choosing between these two and I ended up going with the Maybelline one. This is a gorgeous product, but it is really expensive, and I do feel like you get a very similar look with the Maybelline Master Strobing. They are also very similar shades. I will put a comparison picture right over here so that you guys could sort of see what I'm talking about. Still staying in the realm of cream highlighters, the next product that I want to talk about is the RMS Beauty Living Luminizer. Now this is probably one of the most unique highlighters that I have in my collection because it is probably also one of the most natural looking highlighters that I have. What's really cool about this product is that it doesn't even really have much pigment to it. It's honestly just glossy. So this is definitely one of my favorite highlighters to wear on my no makeup days when I'm literally wearing no makeup, but I do want to add a little bit of radiance to my skin. I will pop it on the tops of my cheekbone, and that is the most ideal way to wear it because it doesn't have pigment to it. It won't look strange when you're not wearing any other makeup. Now the next highlighter that I wanted to mention is Glossier Halo Scope. This one in particular is in the shade Quartz. I do believe they have, I think, two other shades in their Halo Scope collection, but this one in particular is the one that matches my skin tone best, so it's the one that I like to use. This is another stunning highlighter that I love wearing on my no makeup days. Again, this one doesn't have too much pigment in it, so I can wear it when I'm not wearing a ton of makeup, but this does also look really gorgeous even when I'm wearing like full glam. So again, if you're the type of person who doesn't want something that's too in your face, this is another really great option. Now the next cream highlighter that I have over here is an oldie, but it's definitely still a goodie. This is the MAC Cream Color Base in the shade Shell. This is the type of cream highlighter that I like to wear when I want a little bit more of an intense glow, but I still want to have the benefits of using like a cream highlighter. So like I said, cream highlighters definitely give a little bit more of like a natural effect to the skin, but this one in particular, even though it is a cream highlighter, so it still looks pretty natural, it definitely gives you a little bit more of an intense glow, especially compared to the last two cream highlighters that I spoke about. This one definitely gives a way more of a pop. And what I really love about this product, especially with cream highlighters in general, they're so quick and easy to apply, especially for every day. You really just tap your finger in it, tap it on the tops of your cheekbones, and you're good to go. So now moving from cream and liquid highlighters onto powder highlighters. Now this one over here is another highlighter from MAC, and it's the Extra Dimension Skin Finish in the shade Double Gleam. Now this is one of my newer favorites in my collection. This is one of MAC's newer highlighters, and it is so gorgeous. This is definitely way more intense than the other highlighters that I previously mentioned. This is for when you want a little bit of an extra boost. It's still really flattering on the skin because it's not chunky or glittery, and it's definitely not too metallic. If you like something that's a little bit more intense, then this is definitely one that I recommend. Now moving on to my Kevyn Aucoin highlighter, and this is the Celestial Powder in the shade Starlight. Because it's a rose gold, but it's not too pink that it looks like you have like a pink stripe on the tops of your cheekbones. It's sort of just that perfect shade. Now I like to call call this my mature highlighter because it's not a type of highlighter, again, that is too chunky or too glittery or too intense, but it's definitely intense enough that you know it's there. And what's so beautiful about this product is actually the texture of it. If you do have a little bit of texture to your skin, I would recommend more of a cream or liquid highlighter, but if you do want to go for more of a powder highlighter, this is definitely a really great option because of the texture of the product. It honestly just sits so perfectly on the skin, and just the glow to this thing is just absolutely stunning. Now, this is definitely a very new product in my collection. I only honestly got this a few days ago, but that's saying a lot that it's actually ended up in this pile over here. This is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. Now, I have been told by so many of you guys to try this out, and I know that Kathleen has actually spoken about this on her channel time and time again, and I finally picked it up, and now I understand why you guys love this thing so much. It is so cheap, and it is probably one of the most gorgeous and most natural looking powder highlighters that I have ever found. It's pretty difficult to find a powder highlighter that doesn't have sparkle in it, and this one does not have any sparkle in it. The texture of this product is so like buttery and smooth, and it just sits on the skin so like perfectly. I'm just so impressed with this. I think this is one that you guys definitely need to check out if you're looking for something that's extremely affordable and definitely gives you an amazing, very natural looking, but still pop and glow. This is definitely one that you need to like head to the drugstore like right now and pick up. So lastly, for my favorite highlighters, this is Cover FX Moonlight. Now, I really wanted to mention this particular highlighter because I wanted to cater to those of you who, you know, want definitely more of an intense highlighter, but still don't want something that's chunky, glittery, or too metallic. Now, this is definitely more of an intense glow, but again, it still is very, very flattering on your skin and doesn't look too much, especially in everyday and natural sunlight. So now it is time to move on to all of my least favorite highlighters. I'm sure this is the moment that a lot of you have been waiting for. Now, I do want to reiterate one more time that it's really not to say that these highlighters are bad products whatsoever. They really just don't sort of fit with my personal preferences. So the first highlighter that I'm really not too fond of, I actually mentioned this as one of my least favorite products of 2016, is the Sleek Solstice palette. Now, I actually originally bought this because so many people were talking about this on YouTube. It was being like hyped up like no tomorrow. And honestly, it looked really gorgeous when people were applying it on camera. Some people may disagree, but I do feel like there is such thing as a highlighter that is too intense. And I feel like these are just too intense as highlighters. I feel like they are gorgeous as like eyeshadows, but on the tops of my cheekbones, it's almost impossible to actually blend it into the rest of my makeup, especially if you have any type of texture on your skin. Oh my God, this will accentuate it like no tomorrow. Now, I did say how I do like really natural looking highlighters, but there is also such a thing as too natural, because this little Ilia, I'm not even sure how to say it, but it's the Polka Dots and Moonbeams cream highlighter. Just, you know, it's so natural that it doesn't even show up on the skin. I tried to make this work multiple times. I very recently bought it actually for this video because I wanted to test it out. I hadn't heard anybody talk about it, and I was thinking that this product could potentially be like a hidden gem. Still ended up in the video, but not quite in the right category of what I was hoping. So like I said, the reason why I don't like this product is because it barely even shows up on the skin, where something like the RMS Living Luminizer, even though this doesn't really have any pigment to it, and it's definitely way more of a natural looking highlighter, this definitely gives you a glow because it makes your skin look glossy. This didn't even really do that for me. Now this actually pains me a little bit. These are the Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Powders. Now, I absolutely adore the original like lighting powders. I actually was going to include the Luminous Light in today's video as one of my favorites. What's really nice about the other Hourglass powders, and especially the Luminous Light one, it's another one of those like mature highlighters that really just sits on the skin so nicely. It doesn't accentuate any texture. So I really thought that they would be just more of like an intense version of the other powders, and unfortunately, while they are not terrible, I don't love them quite as much, and I feel like there's way too much sparkle and shimmer in these. When you apply them on the tops of your cheekbones, all you really see is just a lot of shimmer, and while the shimmer isn't chunky and it's not completely unflattering, like I said, I do love highlighters that just give you a glow without that shimmer and that sparkle, and that's why I'm just not a fan of these. Also, the fact that they are quite expensive. Now, this also pains me to talk about these as one of my least favorite highlighters because I love Ofra so much. I love their liquid lipsticks. They're probably some of my favorite liquid lipsticks ever. And I also know so many people who love these highlighters. Again, I do feel like there is such thing as just having a highlighter that is way too metallic and way too intense. And I just feel like these highlighters just really give you that crazy amount of intensity that I don't feel like is always the most flattering. I just want to show you how pigmented this powder is. Like, I'm barely even touching it, and it gives you such a crazy amount of payoff, which is amazing because I love using these as like eyeshadows. They look so gorgeous, but something like this on the tops of the cheekbones, it's almost just too much, and it's just way too metallic for my preferences. Like I said, it just accentuates so much texture on my skin, even texture that I didn't even really know that I have. So that actually finishes off all of my favorite as well as all of my least favorite highlighters. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Of course, do not forget to let me know what you thought in the comments. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.